Hey guys, first off, I would like to sincerely apologize for the long silence. It was never part of the plan. Somehow life got heavy and I just needed a moment to breathe and reflect. But I'm back now and we can pick up from where we left off. So shall we? Today I want to share a powerful story someone opened up to me about. It's not my story, but it's real, it's honest, and I think somehow a lot of people might see themselves in this. So let's get into it. It's about being an introvert, and I would love to read the story as I got it so we don't miss a theme. I want you to get all of the tea, so I would be reading from here. Please do well to engage. You can leave a comment in the comment section. I would love to hear what you think about this. So let's get started. Growing up, I was an introvert, and to be honest, it really messed with my confidence. Yeah. There's something there, so just hold on to it. I think it was a mix of mentality and self-esteem issues. I didn't really see myself the way I should have. But here's the interesting part. Even as an introvert, there was one thing I never shy about: dancing. For an introvert, dancing is sort of a social activity that I feel only extroverts should really want to do that, but for an introvert, it's definitely passion. I used to dance with my grandpa. Now I see where he got that. It was our thing, and when I danced, it was like something unlocked. Wow, raw talent. Because when you're good at something, when you know it's in you, you just want to show it off. True, I agree. No hesitation, no second guessing. So I danced every chance I got. But outside of that, I kept to myself. Life of an introvert. I felt like most of the people who hung around me, especially the ladies, did so because I was one of the smart kids in class. Smart kids in class. Remember this? Okay, let's keep going. I didn't think it was about me as a person. I had no beards, a tiny voice. I was smallish as well. Honestly, I felt like I looked more like a lady than a guy. These were some of the issues, and I am sure he didn't just sit down and begin to think that way. Somehow people made him feel that way. He began to have that mentality that for them to think of him this way, to think that it's a bad thing to not have some of these things amongst his peers, then it makes him feel like he wasn't, should I say guy enough, because he wasn't really a man then, right? So it just made him feel like he wasn't guy enough to roll with the other guys, his peers, when all of them were having the beards, the bass voice, all of those broad shoulders. He wasn't having all of that, and somehow it sort of built something in him, and that kept him away from people. Yeah, so let's continue. That insecurity made me avoid a lot of social gatherings. Of course, I didn't want to be seen. I didn't feel like I belonged. Fast forward to that, when I got to the university, my roommate, the total ladies man. Wow, interesting. Tall, good looking, everything society tells you a man should be. Wow, that's a complete opposite of him, right? But let's find out how he was able to blend in all of this. Girls were naturally drawn to him. Funny when they came around, I ended up being the one having deep conversations with them. Man had something in him he never knew. They are revealing themselves. So it became this pattern. His looks brought them in, but I kept them engaged. Okay. Yeah, we had a lot of run parties back then, and those were the few times I'd take up the introvert hat and try to socialize. But right after, I'd wear it back again. That was when I started to realize something. My real problem wasn't being introverted. It was the fear of taking the first step. I always waited for the opportunity to come to me instead of creating one for myself. Yeah, maybe the fear of the unknown. What if I take the first step? What if I approach this person first? what would their response be? Would they shut me out? Would they turn me down? Would they look down on me? Would they make me feel little? So I understand, like, I can relate to this firsthand. Then one day, a girl told me, you don't want to hear this. A girl told me I wasn't boyfriend enough. Ooh, I feel your pain, bro. That one hits me. Like, I feel it too. Mean. She said it like I couldn't protect her or give her what she needed. And yeah, maybe because I looked small, not exactly macho or intimidating. That moment stayed with me. Yeah, that was mean. But instead of letting it break me, I made a decision. I was going to work on myself. I love that. I was going to work on myself. I started to work out. I read books on self-esteem and confidence, and I learned something powerful. I would like to quote this one. If you will not take anything from all of this, make sure you go with this one. Just listen to it. When you believe you look good and actually put in effort to look good, your confidence follows. There's this thing about confidence and looking good, like you can't separate one from the other. You start walking into rooms with presence, with purpose, and with power. So appearance matters. Take note of that. Since I couldn't grow a beard, I started keeping dreads. Okay, I have to say this again. Since I couldn't grow a beard, I started keeping dreads. Sounds like lines, right? I love that. It became part of my identity. Then I landed a job at an agency, and everything started to shift. Environment. I found a new kind of family there. I felt needed. I felt seen. It wasn't just the work, it was the environment. Environment. Emphasis on environment. That place gave me space to grow into myself. And this is what I learned. You also learned something and you would want to share. So pay attention. No one is coming to save you. I agree with that. If you don't know your worth, the world won't hand it to you. People will ride on you if you don't stand your ground. It's okay to be nice, but don't overdo it. No go there, do pass yourself. Don't overplay your part. Because if you're always trying to please everyone, they'll start expecting you to lose yourself just to make them comfortable, and that's a very wrong thing to do. So here's the advice to you, to me. If you're struggling with confidence or identity issue, let's hear them. Just stay with me. The first is start by working on your mindset, the way you think, the way you analyze things, your mentality of how you see things. Like, begin to work on that. And how you even see yourself, first of all. Begin to work on that. Try to work on your mindset. Then work on your appearance. Yeah, we talked about looking good, right, and all of that. So work on your appearance if that helps boost your self-perception. Of course, appearance should help you boost your self-perception. It is not an if, like, that's not even a probability statement. Like, it has to help you boost your self-perception. So work on your appearance. Create the version of yourself you're proud of. Who do you want to be? Who do you want people to see you as? Just like we said earlier, people won't hand it over to you. So create that version of you that you want people to see. People are always seeing you for Mr. A and you want them to see you for Mr. B. Then put in the work. Begin to work on that. Create that version of you so that when you begin to see yourself in that mood, trust me, every other person will accept. They will begin to see you that way, and the rest, my dear, is history. Stop waiting to be chosen. Choose yourself again and again and again and again. Choose yourself. And finally, find a balance. Just find a balance. Don't overplay it. Don't overdo. Don't be too nice. Don't be that person that always says yes to everything. And also don't be the person that always says no to everything. Just try to find a balance. Yeah, this is the end of our story. I hope that somehow you got something from this, because there are lots of advice and lessons learned, and how he was able to overcome some of this. And this is a very, very interesting story, if you ask me. If you leverage on this, trust me, you can walk into any room and own it. In my last story, I remember talking about how you should constantly say positive things to yourself, and when you say them, embody it and carry yourself as someone who believes that all of these things you constantly say to yourself is who you are. I am not guaranteeing you that it's going to be like a smooth ride, but it's a step forward. And don't forget, read. You have to read too. Great leaders are always great readers, so try to always have this at the back of your mind. If you really want to be a certain version, you really want to create a version of you that you want people to see, how do you begin to do that? How do you start that? You might decide to just wake up tomorrow and be like, I am a CEO of this, I have this, I own this. Where is the evidence of all of those things you say you have or you are? Like, try to put in the work, read books. That's a great way to grow. And your appearance, don't forget, that matters a lot. In all of these, there are lots of similarities with my story. Part of it is a self-esteem issue, and how an environment or the people, someone changed the narrative, people change the narrative in an environment, and decide that something led to him being an introvert. So there's always a reason for someone becoming some type of way, the way they are. You need to find that thing to be able to fix it. There's this saying that says the first solution to a problem is first accepting the fact that there's a problem. When people say that they see this thing in you, and deep down you don't believe that yes, you have it, and people are saying it, but you still don't agree that you have it, and it's in you, then there's no way to finding a solution to this. Because first of all, you don't even agree you have it. So how do you find a solution to a problem you don't even agree that exists in the first place? So the first solution to a problem is accepting the fact that there's a problem. If you know there's a problem, you agree with me, you agree with yourself that yes, there is a problem somewhere, then the next step is finding a solution to it, a long-lasting one. I can't wait to hear your story. I can't wait to hear the results of all of this after you must have put in the work. I would love to hear how far you've grown and how you are able to approach life differently from previous years. I would love to hear how you were able to do all of that. And don't forget, you don't have to share your name, just share your truth. That was someone's truth and how he was able to fight it. Like this very person, seeing the person, you won't really believe that this person was ever an introvert. That is because somehow he was able to fight it. And now you can actually see him and not even believe that he was ever in that very space. And that was like something similar to my story. I remember when I started to talk about it, saying that I felt like the ugliest child alive. Most people are like, how ugly? Like, have you just seen yourself? Like, have you met you? And I'm like, yes, I have seen the recent me, but you don't know how it started. And that's why sometimes I still don't believe till date when people see me and give me all of those compliments. So I have actually moved away from that to being a different person, because somehow I put in the work. You can do that too. So that is that for today. Thank you for joining, and I would see you next time. Bye.